The cold water dumps over Suna, leaving her shivering violently, but she's over the moon. She even tells her younger sister to scrub the mud off her body hard. Later, they head to the bathhouse, where all the town's unmarried girls are singing and dancing. Whoever catches the eye of the billionaire family's housekeeper will have a chance to marry into the wealthy clan. Suna dances vigorously, showing off her graceful figure. In contrast, her sister Siran couldn't care less. She hides in the corner. The housekeeper quickly notices the charming Suna and tells a servant to bring her to the center of the dance floor. The servant removes her hairband, then unties the towel around her chest. Suna's flawless figure is impeccable. She's smoothly selected as a candidate to marry into Turkey's top wealthy family. Their money-grubbing father hugs his eldest daughter, Suna, joyfully. This shocks Seyran to the core. It's the first time their father has ever been so kind to them. Though they're born into a landowner's family, their mother and the two daughters have always been treated like servants by their father, thanks to failing to bear a son. The three of them eat leftovers every day and are stuck with endless housework. That's why Suna has always dreamed of marrying a rich man and escaping her cruel father. Seyran hates the thought of leaving her sister, but as long as Suna is happy, that's all that matters. After seeing a photo of her fiancé, Suna falls hopelessly in love with this handsome man. Little do they know, Ferit, grandson of the Kuren family, is a playboy. Even though he has a beautiful girlfriend, he still fools around with other women. Not long ago, the mother of a woman he'd had a one-night stand with showed up at the family home with the police to press charges. His grandfather had finally had enough. To protect the family's reputation, he forced Ferit to get married. As the absolute authority in the family, no one dares to oppose him. So they followed his order to find a girl with a clean family background to be Ferit's wife. In a remote town, Seyran goes to the dessert shop to order engagement pastries for her sister, only to accidentally knock over the nuts. As she's cleaning it up, Ferit walks in. Mistaking Seyran for a shop assistant, he hits on her in an extremely frivolous tone. Seyran calls him rude and gives him a cold shoulder. It isn't until the shop owner appears that Ferit realizes he's misidentified her. The girl who was scowling a second earlier is chatting warmly with the shop owner the next. Ferit is filled with curiosity about this seemingly two-faced girl, but Seyran doesn't glance at him again and walks straight out. At that moment, Seyran has no idea she'll soon form an even deeper bond with this man. Back home, their stingy father actually spends money hiring many servants to clean and cook. He even brings in a top stylist to doll Suna up. That evening, the Korhan family arrives at Sona's house in luxury cars. This wedding is the talk of the town. Following tradition, a bride-to-be must personally serve freshly brewed coffee when meeting her future in-laws for the first time. But Suna is too nervous. Her trembling hands can barely hold the coffee. So Seyran has to help her sister carry the coffee upstairs first, planning to hand it back to Suna right before entering the room. Faced with so many scrutinizing eyes, Suna trembles even more. She trips over the carpet and falls hard to the ground. Seyran rushes in to help her sister up. Humiliated and flustered, Suna runs away. Seyran has no choice but to clean up the shards and stains. Ferit recognizes Seyran as the girl who talked back to him. He gets a sudden idea and makes a request to his mother. Shocked by his words, his mother calls his father outside to discuss. A few minutes later, the Korhan family proposes replacing the bride with Seyran's. Seyran freezes in shock, but her father agrees without hesitation. After all, both are his daughters. Whoever marries into the wealthy family, he'll gain endless wealth. Before Seyran can snap out of her astonishment, she's pushed beside Ferit and muddles through the engagement ceremony. Ferit secretly rejoices and teases her a few times. It isn't until the Korhan family leaves that Seyran realizes how absurd everything is. With a disturbed heart, Seyran goes to her sister's room. Seeing the ring on Seyran's ring finger, Suna immediately understands she's been replaced. She beats her head in remorse, cursing herself for being useless. It was her rare chance to marry into a wealthy family, but she messed it up herself. Their aunt walks in and urges them to accept the truth. The wedding will be held in 3 days. Saren screams hysterically, refusing to marry a man she doesn't love. As it turns out, Saren already has someone she loves. She's been secretly dating a boyfriend behind her family's back. Unfortunately, she's powerless to resist the terrifying patriarchal control. Angrily, her father grabs Saren by the hair and drags her out. He locks her in a dark cellar to reflect, telling her she'll only be let out when she comes around. After all, her father has emptied the family savings to curry favor with the Quran family. Early the next morning, the father receives a call from the Quran family. The wedding was originally scheduled for 7 days later, but the Korhan family has a change of heart. They demand the marriage take place tomorrow. Their aunt thus lets Saren out of the cellar. She urges Saren to calmly go take photos with the groom and get a premarital checkup. Saren begs her mother for help, but her mother has always been timid and weak. She dares not defy Saren's father at all. Saren cries her heart out, but has to give in and follow her father's arrangements. Under her aunt's supervision, Saren gets dressed up meticulously. Before leaving, she makes a point of comforting her sister. By this time, Suna has let go. Though she's dreamed of marrying into a wealthy family her whole life, she just isn't lucky enough. Just then, Saren notices her boyfriend has called her hundreds of times. It turns out he heard about her engagement and is waiting right outside her house. Saren arranges a meeting place with him, telling him she'll explain everything after she's done with the day's tasks. A few minutes later, Ferit arrives with flowers to pick up Saren. The two go take their wedding photos and get the premarital checkup. Ferit makes an excuse that he's afraid of getting blood drawn, wanting to hold Saren's hand. She pushes him away abruptly. This kind of playboy behavior is exactly what Saren detests most. But Ferit doesn't care. He immediately calls his girlfriend after turning around. Instead of stopping him from getting married, his girlfriend laughs and offers her blessings. Yet, as soon as she hangs up, her expression darkens. She hatches a plan. After the checkup, Saren seizes the chance to pretend to faint, slipping away from Ferit. She then runs to the park, throws herself into her boyfriend's arms, and cries bitterly in grievance. Her boyfriend scolds her for betraying their relationship. Saren tells him the whole story, saying she won't marry Ferit and plans to elope with him. But the man she's loved for years actually backs down. Afraid of offending the powerful Koran family, her boyfriend says he has an elderly mother at home to take care of. He can't run away with her. Saren sees his cowardly true colors, and the last glimmer of hope in her heart is shattered into pieces. She runs home crying, pouring out her heart to her sister about her boyfriend's cowardice and her own helplessness. Suna helps her lash out at the boyfriend. The two sisters reconcile back to how they used to be. Suna has also come around. She urges Saren to accept the arranged marriage. Maybe marrying into a wealthy family isn't such a bad thing, she says. At least Saren will never have to struggle for basic needs again. Saren has no choice but to resign herself to fate. The wedding day comes around in no time. Their aunt calls Saren into the room, giving her all her life savings and a necklace she's cherished for years. She tells Saren to live well with her in-laws. If Saren ever runs into trouble with the Koran family, she should wear this necklace in front of his grandfather. Saren is moved to tears, unaware that this necklace will become her lifesaver. As the morning sun rises, Saren puts on the gorgeous wedding dress, one that was originally meant for her sister. Now, Suna gives it to her as a blessing. Little do they know, this goodbye will bring earth-shaking changes to both sisters' fates.